I'm Ken Waldman. I'm going to read the first page and a half of a novel published by Cyberwit.net, Now Entering Alaska Time. First page and a half. Now Entering Alaska Time, Part 1 is Potluck. Most of them in the group had been kicking around town for years, friendly, but not what you'd call day-to-day close. Fairbanks was that kind of place. People came and went, you had your own work to do, and the way Zan saw it was if you minded your business and no one else's, you were smart. Smart. That was why folks moved to the interior, to live where people didn't meddle. Either that or they were put in distance from something. Zan came to Alaska after Debbie left him. They married his last year of graduate school in Pullman, class of '83. The next fall in Spokane, where he was teaching history at one of the high schools, Debbie visited Seattle one weekend and ran into an old boyfriend, Nate. She didn't come back. The next June, Zan moved to Alaska. He was 28, had little money, loans out, and no job waiting. But he had this hunch, and that was 6.5 years ago. He never expected to stay so long, but each year it got harder to leave. He knew people, and the place grew on him. Sure, every place can grow on you, but it was different here, strange in its honesty. Fairbanks was powerfully honest. Zan loved the summer days that went on, the sky bigger than Montana and Texas combined. Then there were the winter nights. The winter did it to him, especially when it was 20 or 30 below and the moon was near full or bigger. He'd walk outside into a windless, dry cold that was sharp and clean as new cutlery. The first whiff would be like oxygen 10 oxygen, or the frozen essence of caffeine. Next, before he knew it, the moon was winking, telling him to keep dreaming. He'd keep breathing slow and deep, shut his eyes, then open them, this time to the stars. And the stars would dance for him, and sometimes he got the lights. It was easy to forget that a few minutes without gloves, he'd frostbite his fingers. The town boomed and busted. First gold, then oil. Now it was mostly dreams. You wanted heights? Drive to Talkeetna, charter a plane to the base camp, and climb Denali's 20,000 feet. You wanted land in a log house? Finesse a homestead, borrow tools, and start felling spruce. You wanted your dream job? It was there waiting. What took 10 years elsewhere took 2 in Fairbanks. But if you were down on your luck, if you were escaping to Alaska for the wrong reasons, that is, watch out. Calamity could strike hard and often. Zan had a friend, Jed, guitar player, who arrived in Fairbanks with a new wife, more than $50,000, and a plan for a meatpacking business. In the time Zan knew him, Jed's wife left, his dad died, the business venture got tangled in legal problems, his cabin burned, his car was stolen, and his chainsaw jumped out of his hands, took a piece of thigh, and nearly castrated him. The last Zan heard, almost a year ago, Jed was nearly broke and arranging to move back to Salt Lake City. Maybe Jed just had incredible bad luck, but Zan would rather think Jed had unfinished business in Utah, and Fairbanks was just seeing that he got back as soon as possible. And the fella Zan, like me, he's not me, but he's like me. He's a fiddle player, and along with this book, I made a CD, and I'm going to play a fiddle tune, just a little bit of a fiddle tune, just to play a little bit because it goes with the book. So here's a fiddle tune that I would play, and maybe Zan would play it too. It's called Old Joe Clark.